Good evening, good evening. Come on in on this fabulous Friday night with Faith Shares Real Wisdom. Come on in. I am glad for those who are starting to come in. Let's just have let's just have a little chat from Coach Faith on tonight. Um, Good to see you, Darlene and Debbie. Y'all come on in. Glad to have you. Vern, yes. Darlene, you said grace and peace. This is going to be great. Yes. Love yourself. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Um, we have been so distorted in the way that we have learned and the things that we have just decided to go along with when it comes to love. So we were never really in that place where how many of have been taught and how many of us have had those chats and those sit down talks about loving ourselves. So we're going to talk about that on tonight. I'm glad for you coming in South Carolina. It's still hot. I am not being tortured at all because I stay in the house where it is cool, but praying for so many that are not that blessed. Everybody, we take it for granted, central air. We take it for granted, air conditioners I don't care if you put it in your window or what, even down to these cooler modern day fans. A lot of those things we take for granted, but let's pray for those who don't have any of it and they're dealing with the heat. And let's look after and check on, especially the elderly. Check on them, make sure that they're okay. Because if some of them, anything like my grandmother used to be with the central air, she didn't want it on. So don't forget to check on them and see how they're doing. Because, like I said, I'm used to central air and central heat, but I have to take in consideration there are a lot of people out there who do not have that. In the South, air is a need, a necessity, but everybody does not have it. So we're grateful. So I don't know what part um, the land, the country that you're in. But we're staying in the 90s and summer just started. It's just started. So we're not hit 100 and one and all of that good stuff. And I was 101 in the house. So I hope that you're staying cool where you are and staying hydrated. Whatever you do, stay hydrated. And if you do know some older people, and not just older people, but my heart goes out for them. But even some other people that might have kids and they don't have air, do something nice. Do something nice, like give them a case or two of cases of water to make sure that at least that they stay hydrated. That's something simple but big for somebody else. The things that we consider to be, oh, it's just a case of water. I got my water stacked up. But for somebody else who can afford to get a case and you take them a case, that's something big for them. So let's think about others even during this heat season, during this summer, because as I said, the summer just started. And here in South Carolina, we have not entered into the hotter months yet. We're leaving out of June in a couple of days, and we know that July, but August is a scorcher in South Carolina. So stay hydrated. Look and check on someone else. Remember, everybody's not as fortunate as you are to have central air, to have air conditioners and stuff like that. Some people don't even have a fan. So check on them. Why with our blessed selves, look after somebody else and see what need that they might have. Okay, I know y'all will because there's some loving people on this side. We care about people and always should have, and never think what you do is too little because it's somebody else. Now, people, selfish people, and all that, that's a whole different story. But we're talking about other people that really, really would appreciate um, a couple of bottles of water, a case of water, all of that. Hey, Shannon, do your part on that. But tonight, we just want to discuss for a little while about love yourself. It's simple. It's a simple. Let me say it this way. It's a simple word. Y'all know if I don't put my phone on mute, it happens every time I go live. That's on mute. I hope the other one don't ring. But love yourself. You say, okay, I love myself. But I was saying, a lot of us didn't get instructions on loving ourselves. The other word for me of loving yourself is making sure that you are a priority. But most of us, we were taught, it was embedded in us to do and love others before ourselves. And that will make you happy. You'll feel good about yourself and all this kind of good stuff. And I know I can speak for me, but I can speak for others also, because even now in today's society, we have really a problem. We actually have an epidemic of people not having self love. Yeah, it's big, it's wide, it's spread it worldwide, especially in our community, of people not loving themselves. And actually, they have learned to put on the facade that, yes, I do love me. I love me, and I love people, but I love me more. And then if you sit down and you evaluate, if you even took a short survey on yourself, you will find out that you do 90% more for others than you do for yourself. I wish we was in actually in a room where I could get feedback, because when you like sit and you be truthful and you be honest, and what has happened, literally what has happened in so many of our lives, and I hope everybody else, because I'm not going to wait for so many people to come on, but you can catch it on the replay, like, tag, and share. But what has happened to so many of us that have put everybody before ourselves, we have overcompensated for others and not making ourselves a priority. Yes, we have overcompensated, doing so much for others and not putting ourselves first. It's easy to say, oh, I'm first on the list. It's easy to say, oh, I am a priority. But when you look at your daily habits, are you a priority? Are you first on the list? Or just like it's without thinking? Because you have done it so long to you don't even think about it. And what happens is you can do it so long that you end up hurting yourselves, hurting yourself. And what happens with that is when you begin to hurt yourself and you don't give the attention to yourself and you don't give the love to yourself, you have opened the doors to allow others to hurt you. You have opened the doors to allow others to overlook you, to take advantage of you. It's like Coach Faith, no, this Coach Faith talking to you tonight. You have opened that door because you have not made yourself a priority. And then you'll ask yourself the question, what have I done? All I've done was treat everybody right, love everybody, give people my last about 5 times. Just give them my last. I've done this. And if you listen, be honest with yourself, you will find out that you have always been the giver. Wow. You have been the giver. The majority of the time you're talking about it, you have been the giver. So, because you have given so long, you don't even know how to receive because you never put yourself in that receiving place. First of all, taking care and loving yourself. I know so many of us, especially females, what we do is we'll do some little thing for ourselves and we make it a big deal. Like, girl, I saw this perfume I wanted. Debbie, I wanted that perfume for the longest. Hey, Virginia, I wanted it for the longest, and I finally bought it for myself. And I mean, you won 1,000 points for that. But how many years did it take you to go ahead and figure out that you needed that? You know, how long did it take you? How many bottles and how many things that you have made sure others had, and you have neglected yourself? And I'm telling you, because we say we attract who we are. So if I've made myself a person, because I'm always putting myself last, I am going to attract people that will put me last. It don't seem like it because I'm so caught up in making sure that all these people are happy. My husband's happy, my kids happy, my mama, my daddy happy, my cousins happy, my siblings happy, everybody happy. Even the nurse and the doctor happy. When they see you, they just go to smiling because they're just happy to see you. But what about you? When you look in that mirror, are you just totally happy on how you are treating yourself? Not just accepting who I am. We had to get to that place, and we're saying that, and we'll go and we'll hear everybody saying it, that you are more than enough. Are you? Have you treated yourself like you're more than enough? I, I'm telling you, this is coming from such a pure place because I have victimized myself for years. I am no longer a victim to self-infliction. No longer am I one. But who was there to say, hey, Faith, hold up. Let's have a talk. Let's talk about you loving yourself. And let me tell you something. Most, and I know men in there, but I'm talking about, I can't tell you about a man because I'm not a man, but I can share some things. But as a woman, most of the time, this is funny, but it's not funny. The majority of the time, and I know y'all can relate to me, when somebody said, let's take this time for you to start loving yourself. You know what the majority of us, if we're honest, the majority of us end up saying, child, I need this, but I'm gonna have to find time because I don't have time because I gotta do this, and you go down the list. You go straight down the list of everything you have to do. And the majority, I'm telling you, about 90% of the stuff has to do with the other people that you have to, you're putting first because I love them and I got to take you work. Then when you look, then after you get off of work, you work again because you got to make sure everybody's set up. I got to make sure my kids are fed. I got to make sure this is done. They have a saying that I'm with it. I believe it. They say a woman's work is never done. Why? Because we wear so many hats. But I need you to understand the biggest hat that you put on need to be for you. Yeah, I know that's not something you hear because here again, we have been programmed to believe that that's selfishness. When we have literally put ourselves in open fire with selfish people treating us like we must do because we think we have to do everything. And we have done it because we have been conditioned. That's a way of showing love. Yes, love is not love until you give it away. Yeah, love is an action word, but I deserve some action. I deserve to give myself some action. You deserve to give yourself some action. You know, we always talk about the scenario on the airplane, and they tell you if it start happening, and when the mask fall out, and you put the oxygen on you first, and then you help. Whether it's most of the time, the first thing we think about is kids, and a lot of us don't even travel on the plane with the kids, but or whoever's with you. Then you assist someone else, but first, you breathe. Let's make sure you can breathe so you can assist somebody else. But what have we been doing? We have been just barely breathing, making sure we're getting something done for everybody. And let me tell you something. It takes us a while to find out. You know what? I'm not happy, but I told myself I'm happy. I've taught myself I'm happy. I have made myself think that I am happy. I am not loving me right. And I got news for you, because see, I've been guilty of that through the years, not one, two, or three, four, through the years, like literally through the years. I did run, lay, whatever I had to do for everybody. And they say, thank you. I appreciate that. Boy, there's not many people like you. All of that. But I was not looking at me. And I'm going to tell you, that's a dangerous thing, because I'll say on tonight, I thank God for my husband, Bay, Ben, will be, stay be, and all this other good stuff. With me not putting myself first, with me not making myself a priority, I'm gonna tell you one of the drawbacks of that is that when you don't do that for yourself, when there is someone who wants to put you first or do for you, you don't even know how to receive it, because that's not something you do. Because you still running, I got to do this, I got to do that. I have my husband from day one, literally from day one, has always been a romantic. Always been a romantic. Don't ask the people who go to my church, they will tell you. Always been. I have not always been, because I would not allow myself to be. Because I was walking around with things and dealing with things that I didn't know how to let go. So I was never putting myself first, but I was doing for everybody else. Nobody will ever say, I was always doing for someone else. I didn't put myself first. Let me tell you what we do. We be so busy, we hide our pain, we hide our stress, we hide a lot of things of being busy and trying to make everybody else happy and do. You tired, but oh, let me get up and go do this for so and so, or let kids. The kids need this and the kids need that. Now, over here in the Washington household, my kids become independent very fast. My grandkids become independent very fast, because I'm like, okay, y'all gonna do this. Now they're like, really, Mom? Because I finally said, you know what, girl? Prioritize. Do something for you. I didn't have nobody fighting against it, but because I've done it so long, I started finding I have not, was not, I am now. So some people be like, oh, no, you can say what you want. I'm not turning back. When you're in a place and you're not loving yourself like you should, let me tell you something. It is actually not fair to the people you're over compensating. It's not. I know a lot of women because of them not loving themselves, because of them feeling rejected, because of them getting in so many bad relationships, because they didn't love and know their own self-worth. They didn't know who they were. So they was just willing to take a chance. And then you get other, I'm talking to females tonight, you get other females saying, okay, girl, go ahead and take that chance. Go ahead and say a prayer. They'll change because they don't know their self-worth, and evidently they don't see as much in you as they should see, because then they will be saying, uh, don't put yourself out there like that. You are worth too much. You know who you are. You are too much. You're such a priority. You're such an awesome woman. Do not let anybody just treat you anyway. If they can't give you more than what you're giving yourself, that, hey, that ain't for you. No, instead, we're pushed out there to do more, because um, it's funny, but it's true. We're always trying to come up with a way to make somebody else happy. And what's amazing, you're always trying to come up with a way to make somebody happier than you. Why don't you sit down and strategize what you can do for you that's going to make you happy, not smile for a day? I mean, the things that, like, now, as a coach, I will tell you, it's literally a journey. It's a walk. It doesn't change overnight, because this is years and years of mistreating and abusing yourself that we got to redo, that we got to get rid of for years. It's like I heard, well, do this for the kids. You know how much I done did for my kids, and them kids don't do nothing but ask for more. They'll say, "Oh, thank you. I do appreciate it. Ma, I appreciate it. I'm grateful. I'm all of this." And the next thing out of their mouth, can I have, or can you do, or did. Y'all, I know I'm not the only person. Look, I'm Coach Faith, but I was sitting there too. Out of all the sacrifices you made, they still ask for something else. They still require more out of you. And because you don't have an anointed no, and because you're not loving yourself like you should, and because you're not making yourself a priority, you'll find yourself once again going down that same rabbit hole. I need you to love yourself. I need you to know your own self-worth, instead of depending on the people that are draining you to tell you. Now, it was so bad for me not loving myself, but yet doing everything for everybody else. So, hey, I thought that was a great thing, because everybody else was smiling, everybody was doing. But what in the inside of me, what was I doing for me? I didn't have time to do anything for me, Vern, because I was running around doing everything for everybody else. Uh, Vern, doing this, and look, and let me tell you something about people who are not loving themselves like they should. We always overdo for others. I know I got somebody on here can talk to me. Carletta, call the people I see on the side. Carletta, I know you can talk to me. Shannon, I know y'all can talk to me. Ursula, because I need y'all to hear this. Yes, Miss Mogul. Love this girl here. Got triplets. Look, I always say got triplets. She got a big family. But even with triplets, oh Lord, what is this? 6 of them? 3. Girl, look at me counting on my live. 3, 4, 5. So it's 5. 5 kids. Awesome young mother. But guess what? If she don't put herself first, she'll be an absent mother. Yeah, it's just straight the truth. If she doesn't put herself first, She'll be an absent mother at an early age. You must take the time and do, as we say, me time. Shannon said, help the people on learning the habits of doing too much is a process, but it's worth it. It is a process because we have done it so long. And some of us didn't even realize what we were doing. We didn't think we were hurting ourselves. It's easy to say, oh, yeah, I'm first. I love me. Okay, you love you? So how much do you do for you? Simple question. Since you love you, since you first, since you're a priority, how much? Yes, time, energy, money. How much do you do for you? How much time do you take out for you? How many things you do? And I mean all the way across the board. What are you doing to make sure that when you smile, the God in you is smiling back at you? Yeah, that part. What are you doing? Um, People love to quote the scripture, love your neighbor as yourself. No, you do more for your neighbor, love your neighbor more than yourself. That isn't, it ain't written that way. But we get caught up. It's this thing called life. But when you grab hold to life, you need to live. You need to live. Don't just say life, um, but live life. Start loving yourself. And this is the thing. When you get to put to the place of loving yourself, can't nobody tell you otherwise, because you'll have that now you'll get a real selfish person come along and say, oh, you're just selfish. Okay, am I selfish? Tell me why I'm selfish. And their reason is going to be you ain't doing what they want you to do, what they want you to do. You're not giving them all your time, all your time. Yeah. If that's why you calling me selfish, get ready for a selfish ride. Because that's a place I'm not coming back from. When I start loving me, I start literally attracting things that showed me, girl, you worth that. Like I said, my husband has been a romantic from the beginning. Listen, y'all. And those that know me, I'll be like, oh, I mean, before we got married, he would bring flowers. And I was that one. Why you spend that money on them flowers? You could have just gave me the money or did something. Why? Because I didn't. I was had myself in situations that I did not let go of. I won't even say I had myself in it. I experienced some things that I did not want to experience, and some of it came from trauma. And let me help y'all with trauma. Trauma can't move if you don't let it go. So if you want to hold on to trauma, trauma will control your life. My life was controlled for years by trauma, by something that took place, by blank memories, and by when the memory came, and all of this stuff. But I still had no problem doing for others. I need y'all to hear me. I need you to hear me. That trauma had me stuck in a place where I could not receive what I was worth because I was holding on to that. Yeah, it was in that place, but I was yet putting out and putting out and putting out and putting out. It's something about we don't even want to take the time to heal because I don't know why, but a lot of times we find it easier to just keep putting the blame out there instead of saying, I must be healed. Some of these people are dead and gone that cause your trauma. Okay, let me help you. Dead and gone that cause your trauma, and yet you don't find yourself worthy enough to be healed. I'm just gonna say it right. I'm gonna be Coach Faith, and y'all know Pastor like to slip out every once in a while, but I'm gonna be Coach Faith. You cannot get over trauma. You cannot be healed from trauma if you won't give yourself permission to do so. See, what happens is a lot of times there's a little comfort in me to keep blaming people. That's not going to change that. People that caused the trauma, good or bad. Some was done purposely, and some was not. There's some traumas that you experience that you still gonna need the healing. You still gonna have to go through the process. There's trauma that comes. I'm gonna give you an example. When my grandfather died, I was traumatized, like literally traumatized. My grandfather died on me inside of his vehicle. And I was just losing it. And I was trying to help him because he kept saying he was hot. And I had the water and I had the cloth. And they had called my grand uncle, his brother, and his son. They were coming because we called my uncle, but he lived in a distance where he couldn't get there before they could. And the ambulance, where this hospital we needed him to go to, y'all know in the country is different. They're not going out of their county line and all this stuff. So we needed to get him to the other county line so he could go to the hospital that where his doctors and he was used to going. And he was steady talking to me, and he was telling me, he was like, "Baby, thank you." But he was talking to me and praying to God. He was like, take me, Lord. I was like, don't you say that, Granddaddy. Stop saying that. And he was like, thank you for all you done for me. And thank you for all you did for your grandmother. I love you, but I got to go. And I was like, no. And he kept saying he was hot. Of course, me not being in the medical field, I didn't have experience to know that he was literally having a heart attack. So I was still putting the water on him because he kept saying, put the water on me. I'm hot. I'm hot. And they got there and they got him in the car and all of this thing. When I got in the car, he was still saying that he was hot. And I was yet putting water on my grandfather inside of the vehicle. It was a Chevy. And I was still putting the water on him. And all of a sudden, my grandfather fell over me. I mean, he literally dropped dead on me. I lost it. I lost everything that was in me. As we would say, freaks out completely, totally. I was pushing him off of me. I was hollering. I was trying to get out of the car. My uncle was saying, Faye, I said, no, he's dead. He's dead. I ran around in the yard and he kept telling me to get back in the car. And I was like, no, he's dead. I was traumatized. Until this day, I tell everybody, my grandfather scared death out of me. Literally scared death. But I went through and I was running all over the yard and if you're in the country, you know about sticky spurs and all that stuff. And I didn't care nothing about my feet in the sticky spurs going in my feet because it was something that I've never dealt with before. It was something that was happening in real time and I lost it. And of course, it stayed. And what they were telling me is be quiet, so that my grandmother didn't know how serious it was. Now, mind you, my grandmother was a praying woman, but I was traumatized, literally, because my grandfather just died on me. And everybody telling me, be quiet, don't say nothing, act normal. Act normal. My grandfather just died on me, and everybody wanted me to act normal. I need y'all to listen to what I'm saying. Act normal. Even though he died on me, I pushed him off and I am just hollering and screaming to the top of my voice. They're telling me, be quiet so that she doesn't know. Can you imagine? Yeah, y'all can imagine. Because that was straight trauma. Because people like to say, "Oh, well, you don't know what trauma." Oh no, I know what trauma is. I got several things that have happened to me in my life that traumatized me. But imagine why you have just been traumatized. Somebody saying, "Be quiet." Why? Because they wanted to protect my grandmother, who in the end knew anyway. But nobody thought about me. Listen to me. Listen to me. You don't self-traumatize yourself. Don't let these things happen and everybody wants you to be quiet. Because why are you being quiet? To protect somebody else. So what does that mean? At that moment, nobody cared about my trauma, but I couldn't keep living with it. I had to heal from it. But that's what happens now. There are a lot of people who don't want you to say anything, but they want you to embrace everything they've been through. I understand, of course, clearly now and a little bit then why they didn't want me to act like, they wanted me to act like nothing ever happened, because they wanted to protect my grandmother because she was older and she was the one that was sickly. But at that moment, didn't nobody care about what just happened. Nobody cared that my grandfather died on me. Everybody was trying to tell me something different. I want y'all to hear this, because I'm gonna need you to understand. No, my feelings didn't mean nothing to nobody but me. My traumatic experience didn't mean nothing to nobody but me. Okay, so what did I do? I didn't say anything. I was quiet because I didn't want my grandmother to get upset. I'm taking y'all somewhere. What do? You always let somebody else, always let other people walk on your face, and you have to take it and act like nothing, but they can just dump everything on you. I got to a place, I loved myself enough, and I had to get healing. Because let me tell y'all something, when I said I was traumatized and that ain't the first time, that was just another experience. Traumatized by molestation and never could remember till I was 23. Come on, 23. But as a child, and could not remember, mine was just blank, because the traumatic experience put me in a place where it was, my memory was blocked. And I believe like no other, it was blocked for my safety. But when it was time and everything came back, and all the hurt and the anger and everything that came, guess what? I had to get through that. Now it took God to help me get through. I'm not gonna sit, because I went through all the emotions of anger, disappointment, all of these things. But what I couldn't do was allow myself to stay in a place that was only hurting me. So I need y'all to understand, the biggest person that's getting hurt is you. And guess what? I am that person now, because I had to deal with a lot of traumatic experiences. I am that person that will not allow you to take yours and put it on me like it's my fault. No, that's what we're not going to do. We don't do that. Listen to Coach Faith, because for some reason, don't let your emotions get you to a place, or get you in a place that you were supposed to be in. I need to help somebody tonight, because what happens is we let our emotions make it feel like, okay, and let me use I'm gonna use Ursula. Ursula as an example, who has been traumatized many a times herself. But I cannot allow Ursula to take her traumatic experiences and put me in it like it's my fault, like I was a part of it. And she cannot allow me to do the same to her. What somebody that really loves, like, okay, no, we're gonna move from this. How do I move? You start taking small steps. You start stepping. That's what you're gonna do. What you won't do is stand still and live in it any longer. Because what are you benefiting from living in it? Ask yourself that question. What am I benefiting from living in this? So you're not going to benefit anything by bringing it and putting it on me. I'm not going to allow it. No, I'm in that place. And I need y'all to get in that place too. Because what we do is we get so whether it's emotionally attached because we love this person and we this and that. But I'm not going to allow Ursula to take all her traumatic experiences and bring it on me. No, it took me too long to get delivered. That's what I want to say. I'm just going to use that word tonight. It might not be a coach word, but I'm going to tell you, deliver, to get set free out of a place. So I refuse to allow that. Now, I can help her, but that don't mean she's going to receive the help. She's going to take the help. So what it is, I am not going to take 1 minute from me. I am not going to take 1 minute from living my best life because Ursula want to stay stuck. I need y'all to understand, because what we do is we jump on the stuck bus, on a bus that done broke down, a train that ain't moving. It need all this fixing, but you get on it like you about to take your best ride. You saw that the train wasn't moving. You saw that the train had problems. You know, you get on the plane and they say, oh, we're having this difficulty with the engine. You got to board the plane. You have to get off. You didn't have to get off. So you thought you was going somewhere. But when you got on there and they saw that there was a problem, I don't care how small they said it was, I need you to understand that one small problem can make the plane crash. If you don't land properly, you can crash. No, get off the plane. Y'all hear me on tonight. Get off the plane. Don't board something and see that there is something is wrong. They're telling you something's wrong. Okay, we have to deboard. Get off. There is another plane. I need you to understand. If I am trying, and I'm just using Ursula, and Ursula walking through all her stuff. Girl ain't got time to be traumatized no more, because she got some sisters that be all up in it and be like, girl, don't play with us. This your time. Love on yourself. No, she gonna hear that. She gonna hear that from me. You better love on yourself. You better do this for yourself. You better put yourself first. See, you need them kind of people around you. Somebody, look, see, you was on that plane that wasn't going to. I'm gonna put you on a plane that's gonna be like first class, all the first class, business class, and all of that class. You need to get on that plane with that person. Right now, Coach Faith is on that plane. I'm gonna need y'all to get off that other plane. It ain't always cheap. It's not always good to fly cheap. Now let me help somebody. No, because see, I am not gonna let what happened to me in my past dictate my now or my future, because my future is now, and I am going to have an abundant life. I am going to live a good life. I am going to enjoy my life. I am going to love my life. I am going to love me. I need you to understand, I am not going to let the situation that I did not bring upon myself, I had no control of, dictate my daily activity. And you know, I don't want to get too excited, but I need y'all to hear me. I need y'all to hear me, because we've been loving everybody else and not loving ourselves. And then we've been making excuses every time we got, well, you know, they don't have nobody else to do it. You know, they don't this and they don't that. So what about you? So who? So now you decide that this is our belief. It's not whatever you believe in, but this is my belief. So you decide that God sacrificing his son wasn't good enough. That part. Who did all of that for you? You decided that, oh no, that wasn't good enough. Now I gotta sacrifice myself. No. Well, I'm gonna tell you now, that's not the way to go. That's not, ain't no way you're gonna find that. You gotta love you. He loves all of us enough to send one for all of us. All of us. Yes, things do happen in life that we had no control over. I know that. I lived it several times. I had no control of it, but I gave myself permission to be healed. I gave myself permission to enjoy my life. I gave myself permission to love me. And when you know how to love you and love yourself right, you'll know what real love is, because you will attract what you are and who you are. So when I put on, and my husband walked in here the other day, yesterday, I think it was yesterday. Today's Friday. Yesterday, and he had a bouquet of flowers. Now the old me, and he walked in. I had just got off of a meeting, and he walked in with these flowers, and he said, "Just because I love you, Day." And he know me. I'll be like, and I said, "Thank you," because Faith was about to say something crazy. Then I said, "Thank you." And then the first thing came to me was, "You said you was living your new life. You said that you were a priority. Let somebody else." Look, he's coming in, and he just put a cap on it. So SFM, yes, I did smile. Yes, I did say thank you. Y'all know that's big for me. And I was grateful because I'm in a new place. So I received differently. And that's what happened. When you've been in the same place so long, you don't even know how to act. Ursula, you don't know how to act. Shannon, you don't know how to act. Shanaro, you can see I messed up your name. You don't know how to act because you've been on the same end so long. I need y'all to understand it is a great thing for you to love yourself. It is written. So I need to do right by me first before I can do right by others. I need to, because you know what? People who do not put themselves first spend more time and money and all of this stuff trying to make other people happy. Baby, if you happy, you'll do when it's time for you to do, but you will not be used. I promise you. Because you know your self-worth, you will do and know when to do. You will find out that you are not to do every day. I need y'all to understand this. I need you, and ladies, I need you to understand this. You ain't got to let nobody run through you every 6 months when you know who you are and you know your worth. And I said it, couldn't say no other way tonight. But yeah, you ain't got to get naked to get attention when you know your self-worth and know who you are. When you know yourself and you love yourself, I don't have to be a follower of the trend. I can make my own trend because I know who I am. I carry myself with dignity. Somebody hear me on tonight. I carry myself with the utmost respect. So because why? I carry myself because that's what I want to attract. I don't want to attract no disrespectful, don't care about themselves people because it comes in. Because a lot of times we think it's just coming one way. We say, Ursa, and they spend money to fix their health because they made others first. That part. That part, because what I always say, stress is a killer. Pressure up, but you're trying to make everybody else happy. And ain't nobody trying to bring your pressure down. Oh, go to the doctor. No. Drop a lot of this stuff you're doing, and you don't have to worry about them taking them chemicals to try to bring down your pressure that somebody else ran up. That part. Yes, yes. It is okay. It is okay. It is okay to start your own trend. It is okay. I don't want to be like everybody else because I'm not everybody else. And that is just it. You are not like everybody else. It's amazing how we use different metaphors and everything according to what we want to do when we'll talk about how we all have our own identity because none of us have the same fingerprint, but yet all of us want to be like 20 other people. Okay, then. So you didn't come. You not put on the earth to make a difference. You just on the earth to be like everybody else. That's what you're telling me? That's what you're showing me. Are you scared to love yourself? If you don't know how, let's we can talk about it. We can talk about it. I promise you, you can. I promise you can get over your trauma. I promise you, you'll learn how not to take other people's experiences on yourself. Because I need you to understand. I laugh about some people and call them little Jesus sister, and he is our eldest brother, by the way. But you'll learn that. I tell folks, I got witnesses. Jesus died for you. I'm not. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You call that whatever you want, but I'm not going to do it. That's why he did it. He did it so that I have the opportunity to actually know who I am, who I am. And I am somebody special because guess what? If you didn't know, you was made out of the likeness of him. You are made out of his image. You ain't nothing but a little guy. I need you to understand. See, you got to understand who you are. When you figure out who you are and who DNA you have, look, listen. As my brother like to say, listen, man, listen, man, listen, woman. When you realize who you are, you're going to start living like who you're supposed to be. You won't feel guilty because you're not doing what everybody else wants you to do. Matter of fact, you'll find freedom. I'm here to tell you, there is freedom. There is freedom in doing for you. It is freedom. And some of y'all going to save money. How about that? Some of y'all are saving money because you can't buy. I want y'all to understand, especially when somebody want to stay on a damaged plane. Now, they going to have to get off. But how long they take to get off is going to depend on where they were able to catch the plane that we were on, that we got on. That's it. You have to make the decision, and I need y'all to understand. You have to make the decision. Make the decision tonight that I will love myself, because it is nothing worse than somebody else that don't love themselves telling you how to love themselves, how to love yourself. They don't love them, but they want to tell you how to love you. Well, if you know, I love me. But I wasn't already there, always there. So I'm honest. I'm in that place. All those years, moping and hiding within. Like, no, you're not telling nobody, but it's killing you on the inside. Isn't it amazing? You killing you on the inside and you allowing others to kill you on the outside. Stop it. Just stop it. Stop letting other people kill you. As I said on last week, stop carrying people that don't want to walk. Get them off your back, get them off your hip, or from around your neck, wherever they are, and it's sucking the life out of you. You stop it. You have the power, you have the authority. It's just, listen, a decision. I will not take it anymore. I will not live like this anymore. Yes, it is okay for me to love myself. And not only is it okay, I shall love me. I will love myself to the point that it surprised you. But it's okay, because I ain't going to stop because you surprised. I ain't gonna stop because you disappointed that you cannot use me. And see, if I don't do this, how am I gonna teach someone else? And I need y'all to understand. I want y'all to understand. Even if you have kids and you have nieces and nephews and all of this, it comes into play. I had to deal with something the other day in a conversation with a lady when it comes to my 18-year-old daughter. And while she was talking, I said, well, you do understand that she is not able at this time, and you see that, of making business decisions and always making the right rational decisions. And she said, oh, yes, I know that. But the law says she's 18. I said, the law says she's 18, but you know the situation. Yeah, but if she says no to something, I said, oh, okay, I see what this is. So really what you're saying is, The law says she's 18, even though she's not capable of functioning on a lot of levels that others are, because she's learns differently and all of this. Just let her be out there, or just let her just be. I said, oh, okay, I see this. I didn't get off the phone and get mad and say, you know what, there's nothing for my child. Da, da, da. I was like, okay, we about to do this differently. Why? Because she gonna love herself enough to know you ain't gonna settle for pennies and somebody trying to keep you in that category, in that spot, in that space. That's what I need y'all to understand. I don't want you to stay in that space that you have been in. I don't want you to find yourself going back to, okay, I'm trying to make myself a priority. No, I don't need you to try. I need you to make the decision tonight that I will be and I am. I need you to make the decision tonight saying, I will not let people use me any longer. I need you, I need all of you to make the decision. I will not let people treat me and handle me like I'm some trash. Oh no, I'm making that decision. I am. Not only will I carry myself in a way, I will live in a way. I will enjoy my life, being that it was given to me in more than enough, more than enough. Even though I know now that it was given to me that no good thing will the God that I serve withhold from me, because I decided to do his right way in the way he wants it done. Oh, come on, because see, somebody will throw this and somebody, Ursula, you can listen to Coach Faith if you want. Ursula, listen to Coach Faith, because see, Coach Faith ain't trying to take nothing from you. Listen, the ones that's trying to take something from you, the ones that not caring about you, always trying to find a way to keep you where you at. But the ones that really love you will push you and say, girl, no more. You ain't doing this no more. Oh, no. No, Leisha, you free. No, Darlene, you free. Love you, Darlene. Can't nobody love you like you love yourself. Say, okay, well, I'm not loving myself right. So that's why people take advantage of you. That's why. It ain't nothing complicated. You didn't pay me $300 to find this out. I gave it to y'all free tonight. It's not that complicated. All the traumatic things I've been through. And I know. It's a trend now to talk about the traumatic stuff that we've been through. Well, we're not really talking about it. We're just holding on to it. Yeah, it's a thing. But I'm going to tell y'all something. It is mentally abusive for you to hold things that you need to let go. That's mental abuse, but it's self-inflicted. I'm going to help y'all. Y'all are doing a lot of self-inflicted abuse. Yes. Remember that. If Coach Faith, I didn't say nothing you wanted to hear this. Y'all are doing a lot of self-inflicted abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse. Why? Because you won't let it go. You won't stop. Because see, you're in control of a lot of this. You're going to pay thousands of dollars to come up with the same thing. You have to make the decision. All of it. I got things to take you through, plans, activities, and all that to walk you through the slow road. But guess what? You have to be willing. You have to be willing to make the decision and to do it. I'm just giving you the bottom line of you need to love yourself. You got to give yourself permission to love yourself. If I came out here and I told you in the word of the Lord is, some of y'all just be so ready. He already told you. Yeah. Because some of the things that some people hold on to, some things have been forgiven. Death can be traumatic, on especially unexpected death. I now seen that tragic death. I know a lot of people that is something, but the decision of whether you want to live or you want to die is still your decision. So you don't want to let go, so you want to give up on life. It's not many decisions. Let's just keep this real. I saw something on, I think it was either TikTok or Instagram, and they had the man, he just laying up on the casket. They ready to put the casket down in the ground, and he got on top of it, and he hollering and crying. I don't know who. I think it might have been his mother or something in it. And he was just carrying on, and they get him off, and then he jumped back on top of the casket, holding him up for putting it down in the ground. And I looked at it, and I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and tell them why I am alive. If anybody get on top of my casket talking about they want to go down in the ground with me, tell them to lower it. I am leaving those instructions to lower it. Let them go right on down there with me and see when they start throwing the dirt if they want to stay. Yeah, yeah. Because as we said, some things is too dramatic. No, it's your choice. They left and you didn't go with them then. You pray, and I'm gonna tell you what I told somebody the other day. Even when death comes, y'all need to understand. And a lot of us do understand this because we had to deal with it. When it comes to somebody close, if we lose a parent or sibling or someone's real close, that thing hurts. All you do is you begin to learn how to cope with the memories, but it doesn't make you stop missing a person. There are still days, literally, I have to tell myself, your mama's not here. Because it's days that I still want to talk to her. It's going to be 16 years, but it's still days. So no one can tell you how long to heal. Healing and letting go of things, is different, y'all. It's different. We're not talking, we're talking about putting your life or messing up someone else's life because of something you don't want to decide to let go. Or you deciding, I don't want to heal, so I'll make sure everybody else hurt. Yeah, that's how it works. Y'all need to recognize. I'm telling you on tonight, you can recognize because some people don't want to get over or heal, but they want to make you suffer for something you didn't do. Don't go for it. Don't go for it, George. Don't go for it, Helen. You make a decision that, you know what? I am going to love myself because that's the way it was supposed to be in the very beginning. I'm going to look out for me because that's where it's supposed to be in the beginning. And I need y'all to understand, loving myself, my kids ain't going to lacking on nothing. Anything, they are learning how to love themselves because they got to get up and they got to do more. Yeah, everybody become independent. Everybody, guess what they're going to do? They're going to help me to live longer because I'm older, y'all younger. Come on, let's work together. We gonna work together. Let's help them to know if trauma comes, how to deal with it. But you can't help somebody to deal with it when you keep taking it on yourself. So I know we started off a couple minutes late on tonight. I am not gonna keep you, but I need y'all all to walk away. Like, tag, and share. I need everyone who hears the replay. I need you to love yourself. Stop sabotaging yourself. Stop letting somebody else take their traumatic experience and cause you misery. Stop putting yourself middle or on the last of the list. And for some of us, you're not even putting it, for some of y'all, not us. For some of y'all not even putting yourself on the list at all because you feel that. And people have made you come to this place and make you think that you have to feel that way. Baby, if you choose not to get healed, what I won't do is be traumatized by you being traumatized and make my life miserable. That's what's not going to happen. Okay? Make that decision. Make that decision. And I'm always going to come back to you have to make yourself a priority. And somebody, they'll get mad and say, I don't want to hear that from Coach Faith. Well, you ain't got to hear it. And you ain't never got to be happy. It's your choice. But for those that want to hear, for those that need that extra push, listen, make that decision. Don't make it tomorrow, make it tonight. Some of you should have already made it when the minute I started talking about it, because you're worth it. You are worth it. You are so much worth it. It is so much happiness for your life. I mean, to be stress free, yeah, that is enough to do some somersaults with, some backflips, to just walk around stress free, to wake up every morning happy, happy to be alive because you're living, to go to bed happy. Oh, when you get negative news like I get, because I will tell y'all, life is always life and over here, but I'm still happy. I'm in a place that I refuse to let anything take me out of my peaceful place. Take me out of my place, as my mentor says, and in the visionary of the Pinnacle Spiritual Center says, baby, this is a season of celebration. Well, we've been celebrating for the longest because my husband always tells us at the ministry, perpetual, jubilee. This is not gonna stop. He's been saying this for the longest. But it's still a decision whether I want to celebrate. It's a decision whether I want to come or attend the celebration. This is what I need y'all to understand. And I'm going to tell y'all so y'all don't feel bad. Val, you can't drag everybody. I said Val because her name up there, but Renee, you can't drag and make people celebrate that don't want to celebrate. But don't you stop. Celebrate your life. Celebrate being happy. And this is what I need all of you to do. I need you to be happy for real. No more fake smiles. No more fake celebration. Because I don't want no, I'm going to live that there is nothing wrong. It ain't nothing wrong with me. I might have people around me that they have not made a decision to be as happy as I am. But see, that's not on me. That's not on you. Celebrate. Appreciate life. Live it to the fullest, to the overflow. Enjoy. Love yourself. As I said, so many of us, we didn't get that handbook. But I don't know what they gave us. They must have poured it in us to do for everybody else. And if you ever find time, it'll be okay. No. Make sure you take care of you. And that way you can live longer, you can be happy, you can enjoy life, and you will attract life. Put yourself first. Love yourself. As a way of announcement, all I can say, the books are coming. I was all excited, but we're still stuck in a place, but it's okay. They're coming. Again, I thank you, and I thank you, and I thank you for all those that pre-ordered, and you will get it. As now, I will only say when I'm mailing it off. that's what I'm gonna say. But I know that I will have a challenge because we will need to go ahead and sell 600 books right away. And I'm excited because we're gonna do that because I have an awesome team with me, for me, and people backing me. There is no place like SFM. So we're going to go ahead and knock that out, bottom line, in the beginning. So love yourself. Have a great weekend. Do something. Do something that you enjoy. And those that really love you, hey, let them. They can join in on the party. They can join in on the celebration. But they will learn it because they see you doing it. And guess what? Loving you is not up for debate. I love you. Have a great night. And we'll see you, if the Lord spares our life, on next Friday. Hey, T, that's my first cousin. Love yourself. Please love yourselves. Please love yourself. Put yourself first. Okay? Good night.